welcome back to Two Old Crows Homestead. Shelly here. Today we're going to talk about seed starting. So our plans this year, and we still have some beds that we need to get built, but our plans this year is to ramp up our garden production quite a bit. Last year we had a tomato bed that did pretty well, and we got some lettuce. We had some smaller beds that I was experimenting with, but for the most part, our tomatoes were like the biggest producing thing that we had, and they weren't really even on a scale to what I wanted them to be. So this year, we're building raised beds. We've got 2 of them built. I've shown videos of that before. We're going to build 6 more, and then we're going to have the 2 taller beds in the back that we're going to use for our tomatoes. But we've got our work cut out for us. However, it's getting to be that time that we need to start planting some seeds inside. As you see behind me, we have a rack set up to put seed starts on, and lighting and everything. I'll show you as we go along in this video. But right now we're going to mix up our seed starting dirt. Now, some things that you need to remember when creating seedling dirt. Obviously you can go to the store and buy bags of seedling dirt. The problem with that is you're not always 100% sure with what you're getting. You know, you can buy organic stuff and all of that, but I am, along with all the other experiments that I'm doing around here, I'm experimenting with making my own seedling dirt. So when making seedling dirt, you have to have something that is going to hold water, and you have to have something that is going to allow excess water to drain. So that being said, there's some things that you can try. A good thing that retains moisture, peat moss. Coconut coir. I think I'm saying that right. Coir, coconut coir. And this actually comes in bags. It's already broken up, and this is organic. But you can buy it in blocks too. They have like 11-pound blocks that you can get from Amazon that will, once it's hydrated, it will fill up a wheelbarrow. You can also sift through compost or sift compost and, get the little particles, and that works really well to hold water as well. If you're using compost that you've created on your property, that's pretty ideal to get things started. So using peat moss or coconut coir, you have to have something that you add to it to help the excess water to drain out. One of those things can be vermiculite or perlite. You can also use that. Even though those are 2 very different products, they're both very good at wicking away water. And then if you're using the compost method, you can sift sand and add that to it. If you check out Renewed Homestead, they actually did a video recently showing how they used compost and sifted sand that they got out of their creek bed. And those are going to give you 2 products that you probably readily have right there on your homestead. So that's going to be little to no cost, right? The time and energy to create the compost, but definitely, check that out. And I'll put a link to their channel below so you can go see what I'm talking about with their video. So the thing you need to remember when you're mixing up seedling mix is to have 2 parts of whatever medium you're using to absorb water to 1 part of whatever you're using to drain water. Let me show you. So I've got a 2-cup measuring cup here. So I'm going to pour that in. I'm going to get another one. This is my second part. Pour that in there. And then I'm going to have 1 scoop of vermiculite. Does that make sense? So 2 parts of coconut coir, which is the medium that I'm using to retain water, and then 1 part of vermiculite, which is what I'm using to drain the excess away. I'm going to do it one more time. 2 parts coconut coir, to 1 part of vermiculite. And I'm going to get here and mix this up. The thing about seedling mix is that you don't have to have all of those like nutrients that you would put into potting soil. You know, if you wanted to make this into potting soil, you could add something like worm castings, compost, that kind of thing. That's going to put nutrients into this. But a seed has all of the nutrients that it needs when it's a seed. Everything that it needs is in that little seed. So this is just going to give it a medium to grow in. Once the plant is getting established, then it needs to be up potted or whatever to something, or have nutrients added to the soil after that. So check out how nice that looks. I think I like this coconut stuff. Coconut coir is actually made out of the husks of coconut. It's ground up, and in the bag you can see it's got that kind of hairy stuff that you know, you see on coconut shells or whatever. Now I'm gonna add some water to this. And one thing about the water, if you have a lot of chlorine in your water, and we use, you know, we have, I guess what you call city water, even though we live in the county. So our water is chlorinated. If you add vitamin C powder to your water, it will neutralize that chlorine. So this is a small container. And really, if you have a, what are those trash cans? Like the trash cans that you use for trash outside. I want to say they're 18-gallon, but they may be even more than that. If you have a trash can that size that you keep water in, or can, you know, maybe you're making compost tea or something like that, it only takes about a teaspoon of this vitamin C powder to put in there, let it set for like 10 minutes, and it will neutralize the chlorine in the water. So this little container that has water in it, I put right around a half a teaspoon, which still is way more than what I need for this. But vitamin C is not going to hurt your plants. It's actually good for your plants. So yeah, so I'm going to put some water in here. Stir it up. And you can add some other things to this. You can add like gypsum to it. That can be beneficial. But like I said, seedlings they have everything that they need in that little seed. So there's not a lot of things that you need to add to seedling mix. think this is about the consistency that I want it. All right, so next I have these seed starting trays. There is a tray on the bottom that doesn't have any holes in it. This one here, this one actually has holes in the bottom, so the water can wick up into the plant or the dirt. So I'm going to fill this up. The things that I'm starting today are my cold weather things, like lettuces and spinach and kale, those type of plants. Things that I'm going to be able to put out in my garden early because they can withstand some cold temps. And so last year I had a seed starting tray. I have a couple of them. Here, let me just grab one of those. Oh, they're not really easy to get to. I had seed starting trays like this that have a bunch of these cells. And honestly, I kind of went overboard with it. I started a bunch of seeds that I planted some of them. I didn't plant all of them. And I did give some to my daughters. They planted some in their gardens and stuff. But I was just like way over what we needed kind of thing. So this year, I want to plant as much as I think we need, but I'm dialing it back a little bit and trying to be smarter with my seeds. All right. So some of the seeds that I've picked out, I know that I want red cabbage because I love red cabbage in my salads. However, is anybody out there like me where you love raw vegetables but not so much cooked vegetables? Or am I the only one that's like that? I do not. Crystal and Randy both love cooked cabbage and, like doing cabbage rolls and that kind of thing. I do not. I do not. I remember as a child, my mom would make my brother and I eat cooked cabbage. And I don't know if he likes it now, but that is not something, I've never acquired a taste for that. And it just, I can't stand it. So, but I love raw cabbage on my salad. And I like it like as like a garnish on tacos, all that kind of stuff. So, especially red cabbage. So I'm going to poke a hole. I remember when I was younger, times that my mom would help me with a garden. She would say, we were planting stuff outside because I never did seed starting before last year. Last year was the first time that I had ever done seed starting. But my mom would say, you had to put 3 seeds in the hole, and I can't remember what they were for. She would say one is for the bugs, one is to grow, and the third one I can't remember what it was. However, I'm putting 2 seeds in each hole because with it starting in here, hopefully I'm not going to have bugs in it, right? That's going to eat my seed. So I'm going to put 2 seeds in each hole. I'm also planning this year to, you know, like, did I get that one? I think I got that one. I'm planning to do some surplus and have like a, well, it's what William called on our permaculture plan, fodder garden, animal fodder garden. So I'm planning on planting surplus for our animals, because I'm just going to tell you, our pigs and our chickens, they love that stuff, which I'm sure you guys already know that, but they just, you know, I think they're getting a serious treat when Randy brings them out, especially the pigs, when he brings them out spaghetti squash, stuff like that. You know, like, I don't like Brussels sprouts. I don't know if my family will eat Brussels sprouts, but I'm going to plant Brussels sprouts because I've heard that chickens love them. So that's my plan. So I'm going to go back and cover these up. I think some of them I need to add a little bit to. All right, so now I have those covered up. I'm going to water them in. I think it'd be better if I like sprayed the water, right? Okay, so one thing that I'm really seeing that I like about this, mixing the coconut coir and the vermiculite, my water is not sitting on top. Have you ever mixed up or used seedling mix and you water it and the water actually like bubbles up and sits on top of your seed or on top of your dirt? That's not good. So, yeah. All right, so I have those watered in. I'm going to put the lid on that. So in this one, I don't think that you all can, like, my head is cut off. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? So this one, I'm going to do 4 different types of lettuce. Just 4 rows here. I'm going to have, what we got? We've got rocky top lettuce, leaf lettuce. So I call this one Merv lettuce because I do not know how to say all of that. So Mervel de Quatre Saisons. I'm not sure what Mervel is. I think this is French, but I'm sure the de Quatre Saisons is of 4 seasons. But maybe it's lettuce of 4 seasons. I don't know. Because I do have a 4-season lettuce. You know what? Maybe I just figured something out. That's my kale. Where's my other lettuces at? Did I even take it out? Nope, I didn't take it out of the thing. I think that's lettuce of 4 seasons. I'm sure somebody will let me know down below. But the last one is butter crunch lettuce, which is my absolute favorite lettuce. I love butter crunch lettuce. So, I'm just gonna go through and make a little hole. And we're gonna do the same thing. Put like 2 per cube. You know, as many of you, if you all have watched our channel for any amount of time, you know that the reason that we have our channel, is this Rocky Top? Yeah. The reason that we have our channel is I kind of want to, you know, we plan on creating kind of a legacy here, I guess. You know, we're looking, when Randy and I did this, we're looking at going forward, or what's going to happen even after we're not here. And we want to create something here that future generations of our kids can, you know, come here and sustain themselves and have, you know, grow things and have a life. That being said, who even knows if they'd be able to access YouTube, right? I don't know. But, I mean, I do have our videos, so if they have a device, they'll be able to see them. But I want them to be able to see what we did here, and even mistakes we made and things that we were successful at, and, you know, kind of what works here on our land and in our area of Kentucky. As I'm doing this, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, because I watched Renewed Homestead's video this morning, and I'm thinking, you know, their idea for creating seed starting mix is just ideal. I mean, because they're looking at it as a, what if that's all they have access to? You know, what if that's all that they can get their hands on is the stuff that they have readily available to them? And that just really, I mean, that just speaks to me. So, even though I made this with coconut coir, and I'm trying this out, and I'm just going to tell you, it's near impossible to get just 2 seeds in one of those things, because these seeds are tiny. But, let's see if I can get them back. They're probably falling through my fingers. Yeah. But, as I'm doing this, I want to try doing it with our compost. And I don't know, we actually have a creek down at the bottom of our property that we may be able to get some sand from and do that. So I want to give that a try. Know what your options are. Figure out what works for you in your area. See, I'm talking and I can't pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, so that was Merv lettuce. Easily distracted. Squirrel, you know, like that kind of thing. Squirrels, by the way, Crystal loves squirrels. They're like her spirit animal. She's on the other side of the room looking at me. She's giving me the stink eye. All right, so butter crunch lettuce is what I'm doing next. Butter crunch is here at the end. Last year, I tried to grow lettuce in our green stalk. We got a green stalk last year. And I was semi-successful. We got lettuce out of it a few times, but not as successful as I've seen other people be. Not as successful as I would like to be. However, this year, I kind of feel like I want to use our green stalk for strawberries and grow strawberries in it. So this is leaf lettuce. And I want to put the lettuce in the ground, in the raised beds. Randy and I have been talking about how we're going to keep the turkeys out of the raised beds. Oh my gosh. You know, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with my turkeys. Crystal does have a hate relationship with them. I don't really understand why, except for maybe it's, you know, like a mating season thing or whatever, but our turkeys do not like her. They also do not like our second daughter, Sam. They chase them around. Like, I mean, just crazy. Chase them around, try to attack them, everything. It's insane. They don't do it to anybody else. They don't do it to our grandkids. They don't do it to Randy and I. I take that back. The turkeys acted kind of crazy with me, I don't know, like a month ago, but they haven't done it since. So I don't know if like right now it's like a mating thing. I have no idea. However, they get into everything. Like they go everywhere, get into everything. If I didn't have a chicken wire cage over my garlic, they would be in that, eating the fire out of it. I don't want to build chicken wire cages over all of my beds. I just don't want to do that. So we've talked about we actually are able to keep the turkeys out of where our chickens are at by using a Premier One poultry netting fence. And they don't mess with the electric fence. They don't want anything to do with that. And we keep one of their wings clipped, because if you clip both of their wings, they learn to adjust and they can fly. But if you only clip one wing, they're lopsided and they can't fly. But and they're probably due to have them clipped, because they have been getting out of the yard. Crystal there was like 3 of them out on this side of the house a couple nights ago. So we probably need to clip their wings again. But because we keep their wing clipped, that keeps them from like flying over the fence to get in where the chickens are at. And they don't, they have this kind of standoff with the chickens at the fence line every day. Well, not really the chickens, it's our rooster. They stand there and make noises at him, and he makes noises at them, and they fluff up or whatever, and he fluffs up, and they go back and forth. But we're thinking, we have another electric fence net, and we're thinking that may be the solution, just to run that fence around all of our raised beds and electrify it, and hopefully that will keep them out. I hope. We'll see. So, make sure when you're doing your seedlings that you label everything. That is so not fun when you don't label everything. So on this one, I'm going to do red Russian kale and lacinato kale, or better known as dinosaur kale. Of course, the reason that I'm not a big fan of kale, but I'm learning to like it. It's just not my favorite. I really like kale chips. That's what Crystal just said, kale chips. But I'm growing lacinato kale because we have 2 grandsons who love dinosaurs. And so they think that this kale was around when the dinosaurs were around. I'm pretty sure it's called lacinato because it's so big. I mean, it's called dinosaur kale because it's so big. But hey, I'll let them believe whatever they want to believe. All right, the last one that I'm doing tonight is I'm going to do 2 rows of Noble Giant spinach and 2 rows of early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. Spinach is one of those things that I love. Ew. Growing up, I didn't like it at all. The only way that my mom fixed it was to cook it. You know, like boiled spinach or whatever out of a can, like Popeye kind of stuff. I didn't like it at all. But now I love it in salad. Absolutely love it.
Because you're weird.
You eat spinach in your salad.
No, I don't. I pick it out. I don't like spinach. Unless it's in the soup you
I
made.
was gonna say, the other thing that I love spinach in is tortellini soup. And she does eat it in tortellini soup.
Yep.
It was funny because the first time that I had tortellini soup, when I saw the spinach in there, I was like, ugh, because it looked like cooked spinach. You know, I like spinach in salad, not cooked. But then I tried it and I was like, oh my God, this soup is amazing. It's one of our favorites. So I can't wait to get some spinach. And I'm planning on even, you know, chopping it up and freezing it because that's perfect for that soup. It's a perfect way to store it, to keep it for that soup. It's good fresh too in the soup, don't get me wrong, but it's a good way to, you know, be able to have it all year. Early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. Now, I do plan on starting some other things in here, but it's going to be every night I'll add a few more things. But I think this is going to do it for this evening. Get my mess cleaned up. Have some dinner. Well, so this is my setup. And I had bought these lights. Do you see those lights? They have LEDs. Well, let me get over here. Like right here. They have LED strips here. There's 3 of them. Clamps onto the side there. I had actually bought these lights last year when I was starting seeds inside. And they worked fine. Now this year, only my bottom one works. I found some grow lights, LED grow lights on Amazon that I wanted to get, but I thought, you know, I've made the investment of this shelf and some new seed starting trays, and I just didn't want to spend the money, I'll be honest with you. I thought maybe I can get another year out of these since I just bought them last year. But it looks like I'm going to be ordering some grow lights because those aren't working. So I'm going to move some trays and get them hopefully where they can all get some light and do that. And I'll get those other grow lights in here. So, as you can see, I got 3 trays there where that light is, and then I moved my other tray up to the top where I have another light with some herbs. And I'll get those grow lights ordered. Oh, I see a shadow. So yeah, that's all I have for this. Just to recap, remember that you have different substances that you can use that will attract water or hold water. Coconut coir, peat moss, your own compost, just to name a few. And but you also need something that will help to keep the seed. You'll also need something that will help the seed starting mix to stay loose and allow water drainage for excess water and those things can be vermiculite or perlite or finely sifted sand. That will work too. Remember that whatever your medium is that you're using to retain water, it's 2 parts of that to 1 part of whatever you're using to drain the water, the excess water. You don't need nutrients in this. I mean, you can add stuff like gypsum or whatever, but you just don't need a lot because those little seeds have all the nutrients that they need to bust open and start creating a plant. It's really easy. So good luck. Comment below if you use any of these methods. Go check out Renewed Homestead because they're actually doing it in a way that is sustainable because they're using their own stuff, their compost and their sand and all of that. So if you don't have access to it at a store, you can't find it at a store, or the the bags of the stuff like what I had. If you can't find it, or even have limited funds, you can make your own. Do it that way. But go check them out, and I'll put a link down below so you can see their latest video where they talk about that too, and see all the things that they're starting for their garden. And yeah, let's go grow something, inspire each other to do this. Comment down below and tell me what you're getting ready to start, because this makes me excited. This really it's one of those things that kind of gets rid of the winter blues where you're just like, oh my gosh, the day is like ending as I get off work and I don't feel like I have time to do anything. So this is really cool to me. Even having these grow lights on, I like that too. It just kind of seems like it's extending the day for me. I know that sounds silly, but whatever. So anyways, I hope you all have a blessed week. Valentine's Day is coming up. I don't know if you celebrate that or not. My husband and I really don't give things to each other for Valentine's Day, but tell somebody that you love them. So spread some love. Have a blessed day. I'll talk to y'all later.